Listen, brilliant and beautiful people, I know many of you have anxiety right now. I know many of you have feelings of helplessness as we continue to await for what the results of this election will be. But I want to speak to each of you, particularly the Black and brown folks, particularly the queer folks, particularly the folks that this administration has intentionally and strategically moved to oppress and to depress and to also alienate from the polls, and all of the many voter suppression acts that were taken to ensure that we end up in a moment just like this. But for us, this election was never, ever about our liberation. It could never be about our liberation in a country, in a system that is intent on our oppression. But as we await, we know we will have liberty and we will heal no matter the results, because we are committed to it, because our ancestors lead us and guide us to it, because the very earth herself beckons us to it. But to do that, we must understand that who gave anyone the power to oppress us? Who gave anyone position or authority over all that we are? And when we begin to examine those questions and find out and figure out who told me that I was less than, who told me that I was below, who told me that I was beneath, who told me that anyone had power and authority over this being that they did not give me. And as we examine that, we realize that we have the tools to our healing. We have every power endowed in us, but it reminds me of when God met Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And this is not a religious thing. But after Adam and Eve partook of the forbidden fruit, they discovered that they were naked. And so they grabbed whatever leaves they could to cover themselves and all of that. And the first thing that God said to them was, "Who told you you were naked?" And so I want to ask of you, who told you you were oppressed? Yes, I don't know who will win this election. I still hope that it is the candidate that will not lead us further into dictatorship and totalitarianism. That is my sincere hope. But no matter the outcome, we will persist. We will prevail and we will move forward. But that requires us to mentally have the capacity to believe that we can tear down every system of oppression, that we can tear down every stronghold of white supremacy, that we can kick homophobia and transphobia in the teeth, that we can knock down poverty, which is upheld by systems of capitalism and industrialism. We have the power, but we must believe. And to believe, we must heal. So I'm continuing to invite everyone on this healing journey with me. I am releasing a new program and at the beginning of December from a book that I wrote 5 years ago called Dear Broken Heart. It's 30 days of lessons for a lifetime of healing. And so I invite you to continue to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I invite you to continue to like all of my social media streams. I am committed to healing. I don't want to commit myself to anything else, because until we heal, all of the activism, all of the protests, all of the marching, all of the work that we do, and that work must be done as we heal. It is not a this or that situation. It is a both and. But my role in this movement is to make sure that my people understand who they are. So I invite you to continue to follow me, sharing this healing journey, and to become all that you are. Healing.